Welcome back to Thompson's Coins, where today we're taking a look at a cross-section of interesting items that came through the shop this week. So this will be a pretty informal video. I often sit down and I prepare, at great length for my videos, and I do a lot of research and all that sort of jazz. But I decided this week to just take a bit more of a casual approach and just show you some of the items that have come through the store this week. So as you can imagine, being a coin shop, I do a lot of both buying and selling. And as a result, I get really interesting collections, but I don't often take the time to highlight everything that comes through. Probably because I might have to do a 1, 2 or a 3 hour video one day and just show you an entire collection. There were a few collections that came through this week that were a little daunting at first. I'm talking multiple boxes. If I stacked them, they would probably be a little bit taller than I am, just full of all sorts of interesting material. And that's half the fun, right? I get to delve into these collections and, vicariously go through someone's collecting journey, and it's really interesting to see some of the directions that people take their collections in. And ultimately, I think it's quite rewarding in the sense that when I buy a large collection, I often explain to people that it's just, the next step in the journey, and ultimately the hope is that I can then rehome those coins into new collectors' collections and they can continue to be enjoyed and appreciated for years to come. But without further ado, I'll show you some of the interesting bits and pieces that have come through this week. So starting off, I had a whole assortment of, these are the C Mint Mark dollars. So you've got a variety of themes here. Each year, the Royal Australian Mint will have a different theme that runs throughout the year. And 2024 was Out of This World. So that was the space theme. They've done things here like this was the Royal Australian Air Force, the Heroes of the Sky theme, and they have the unique dollar for the year with a little C Mint mark. And the C Mint mark is put there to indicate that this coin was stamped at the Royal Australian Mint, funnily enough, located in Canberra. So when you see the little C on the coin, that's what that's for. And there's a variety of characters each year. And like I said earlier, there are a couple of different themes represented here. Like we had the Australian Bushrangers theme. There's all sorts here. There's a number of coins with the Eureka theme. So that was the Australian Gold Rush theme. And there's a number of different characters that go along with each set and things like that. So they're not particularly rare, not wildly expensive coins, but this is just to show you a bit of a cross-section as to what comes through. Here we go. There are dinosaurs down under, so if there are any dino enthusiasts, we have a number of C Mint Mark dinosaur dollars. So there's a very broad range of themes that come through with the C Mint Mark dollars, and it's nice to see particularly the younger collectors that come into the store and are really taken by that sort of thing. And it's quite nice in that sense to feel like the store gets to be part of the introduction for a lot of young collectors and their journey into the greatest hobby in the world, collecting. But without further ado, let's take a look at some other stuff. Otherwise we'll be here all day. I'll be here all day anyway, but there are a few other things that I need to tend to as well. So this, I actually picked up a number of the Platinum Jubilee 50-cent coins. This is a great example of one of those coins that had a tremendous amount of hype surrounding it when it was released. I think there was probably a little bit of media attention, and then a lot of the eBay sellers and things like that ran pretty hard with it, and the prices went up significantly. But since then, they've come right back down to a reasonable market level, which I think is more reflective of what collectors are prepared to pay for things like these. But it's always nice to get a number of these in stock. So, a number of different collectors have the opportunity to get their hands on a coin like this. But I must say, if I were to compare the packaging, I much prefer the credit card style pack. Firstly, the size is a bit more uniform. This is something that Downey's had been doing for a number of years, producing the credit card style packs. And there are albums available for both types of presentation. But I like this because it has a capsule for the coin, whereas these, I don't know how you would or why you would, but if you store your collection upside down, it's just a slip case and your coin is highly likely to slip out. So just be mindful of that with the long rectangular presentation cards is that a number of them are not actually in capsules, whereas the smaller rectangular, the credit card style ones, often will be in a capsule as well. So it's just, I guess, an added level of protection for your collection and a matter of personal preference ultimately. So yeah, a lot of Platinum Jubilee 50-cent coins. Then we have, it must have been 600-700 PNCs, and I've always been a big fan of PNCs. It sort of harks back to my early days in the Philatelic Bureau for Australia Post. For those that are unaware, it's the Philatelic Department of Australia Post that produce the official PNCs. So they'll often feature dollar coins from either the Royal Australian Mint or Perth Mint over in Western Australia. And this was just one example that I thought was interesting and perhaps worth a little highlight. And this was the centenary of the Royal Australian Air Force PNC. And it has the nice dollar coin in there with a little envelope privy mark, something that they often do for the PNCs just to identify them as unique from a general dollar coin. Then we have two stamps, one with one of their modern aircraft and the other one here from the early 1920s. So you've got two stamps depicting, a century of development from the Royal Australian Air Force. So just an interesting PNC. And like I said, there are many, many more that have come through the shop this week. But I just thought I'd pick this one to highlight because it's pretty cool. And if you're interested in aviation, maybe something to add to your collection. Who knows? Then we have an area which I don't think gets enough love. I think these are, maybe it's because they don't do so much of them anymore. These are the presentation folders that were issued by Note Printing Australia. And this was done to celebrate the centenary of Federation. So they took the commemorative Henry Parkes $5 note, and there's a little date and little overprint here in red. So it's just the dates 1901 to 2001, and that was done specifically for these presentation folders. And if you're interested in banknotes, I think folders like these are a pretty cool way to display your collection. It's something that, like I said, you don't see a lot of it anymore. There was the Reserve Bank, when they issued the new generation of polymer notes, issued them in presentation folders. And maybe that's a reflection of where this type of commemorative collecting is headed. They weren't particularly popular, but I've got to say, looking back at some of these older folders, I think they're pretty cool. And it represents a pretty affordable area of the market. You're not paying these eye-watering prices to get, an interesting banknote in a nifty little commemorative folder. So a number of those came through, and it's the type of thing that I like to see and I like to discuss with other collectors that have an interest in that type of thing as well. Now, sticking with the banknote theme, these two sets I think are really cool as well. So you have a full set of Fraser and Higgins notes. So that is the signatories on the note. So you have Fraser and Higgins down the bottom there. And this set here has a $100 note, a 20, a 10, and a 5. And these are all uncirculated and all in that date range of 1989 to 1990. So if you're like me and you like a full set of things in nice quality, something like that I think is pretty cool. And I also have a set here of Phillips and Randall signature combinations. So these are the earlier notes. These are from 1968 to 1971. And you've got the Phillips and Randall signatures at the bottom. And this set consists of a 1, 2, 5, 10, and a $20 note. And you'll also notice that little extra point of difference as well at the top. It says the Commonwealth of Australia as opposed to just Australia on the more modern notes. That's also quite a nice set, and I like the idea of having an example of each of the notes with a particular signature combination. For a lot of banknote collectors, that's something that they sort of aspire to put together. There are obviously so many different ways that you can collect notes. You can collect by denomination, signature combination, varieties, star notes, which I've highlighted in previous videos, but I'm also trying to hopefully highlight that there really is something for everyone. There are all different types of things that come through, and hopefully there's something that catches your attention and captures your imagination, because there's so much to learn. This is just really the tip of the iceberg. Videos like these, my hope is that if you already have an interest in collecting or you're starting to develop one, that you really start to delve into the history of these things, learn a bit more about the characters on the banknotes and where their significant roles have been in Australian history. Because, I'm confident that you'll learn something and hopefully enjoy yourself along the way as well. Next up, this is a bit of an exciting area as well, obviously, but we're looking towards the pricier end of the market. This was from the Australia's Most Dangerous series from the Royal Australian Mint, and this was a 1 ounce gold coin for the box jellyfish. Now, there was a lot of interesting coins in this series. They had the desert scorpion. I think there was a great white shark as well. But I really liked the depiction of movement on this from the box jellyfish. I like all the movement that you can see in the tentacles there. So yeah, just an interesting 1 ounce gold coin. It's not a proof coin, so it doesn't have any additional fancy packaging or anything like that. It's just the coin by itself in a lonely capsule. But, you know, these are the types of things that come through from time to time that, you know, I have a bit of an interest in as well. Then, still in the gold realm, this will be the last thing that I'll highlight because I could go on for a very long time. And hopefully, if you guys enjoy this type of video, if you like seeing the type of things that come through the shop on a weekly basis, I probably won't end up doing it weekly because I'm just not that organized. Maybe every month, or you know what I'll say, every now and then I'll endeavor to make a video just showing some of the interesting things that have come through the shop, because I try to take a lot of time with my focused videos. So if I were to be highlighting, you know, any one of these particular items, as you know, I like to take the time to get right into it and, you know, explore all of the history or the significance of the particular item. But it's kind of fun to do this. This feels a little more relaxed for me to just give you a brief overview of some of the bits and pieces that have come through in an average week. Anyway, let me know what you think of that in the comments. But without further ado, check this out. This is really cool. This is a 4,000 Reis coin from Brazil from 1821. The reason this is cool, there are a number of reasons, obviously, but it's historically significant. It's gold. It's from 1821, so it's incredibly old. And this was also 1 year before Brazil declared independence from Portugal. So there is, again, you can delve into it as far as you like, but I'm just trying to give you a general overview as to the type of thing that I really love to see come through the shop. This is a 22 karat gold coin and it weighs just over 8 grams. So there's a teensy bit more gold than your ordinary sovereign, but given the historical significance and the quality of this coin, it's going to be a little more expensive than your average everyday sovereign. But again, it's the kind of thing that I really like to see and like to handle, and I love seeing things like these end up with collectors that really appreciate them. So if this is your type of interest, feel free to either get in touch, or it should be listed on the website as well. It's kind of hard for me to keep up to date as well with all of the new arrivals section on the website. I always try to keep a bit of a cross section of things that come through the store, but at any given time, I only have maybe up to 100 items up there. But as you can see now, this is a really, really small cross section of things that have come through just this week. There is so much more on the site and in the store that I can keep up with. So if there's something that you're looking around for, just check back regularly on the website, or feel free to drop into the store and just let me know if there's something that you're looking for. I'm doing my best to maintain a bit of a wish list for a number of people that are after interesting and unique things, and I'm delighted to say that I've been able to source a number of interesting items for different people as, you know, time has gone on in the shop and various collections come through, which is a lot of fun. So something else that's been really fun in the shop this week, I'm mindful of time, I don't want to, spend all day chatting away, but something that's been a lot of fun is trades. There have been a couple of people coming through with interesting items that I'm interested in, and there's something in the store, in one of the displays that they're interested in. So I'm always happy to do a bit of, wheeling and dealing and do trades and things like that. That's a really fun way to do business, Everyone gets what they want in the end, and, you work out a deal along the way as well. So that's been a hoot. That's actually been a really fun aspect of having my own shop, is to be a little creative with some of the deals. But there you go, that's a general overview. If you ever want to come visit us here, we're in Shop 8 in the Boronia Mall, which is 50 Dorset Square in Boronia. We're open Tuesday to Thursday 10 till 4 and Saturdays from 10 till 3. Also, if you enjoy the greatest hobby in the world, coin collecting, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll try and keep you guys updated with what's happening at any given time. It seems to be getting harder and harder to keep up to date with videos, but so far so good. I'm doing my best. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.